everyone. So, welcome to a conversation between myself, Miss Kitty Rose, and my co host and becoming dear friend, Melissa DeSalva, all the way from Puerto Rico. And I'm filming from Brooklyn, BK, here in New York City. Hey, Melissa.
Hi. So, yes, I'm here in Puerto Rico. You can see about 8 iguanas behind me. So, I'm a little sketched out right now.
How tropic.
Very tropical.
So today, our audience will get to hear you and also get to see you via Skype. So we were today trying to tape our first pilot show, but it did not go that way. But we definitely got something started because we were able to at least load the beginning part of the graphics and text information and things of that nature. So we started the process, but we weren't successful in that nature. But we said we wanted to still just give our audience content and just let them know, more about what we do and why we do what we do, but not really what we do, but how we do what we do. So kind of give them like an insight to one of our conversations that they'll be experiencing when they see us live and also when they see us on a daily basis, 5 days a week on their television screen in the comfort of their home. So we were going to start the show talking about, well, the name of the show is Next Chapter, the next chapter. And I know I'm going through the next chapter in my life. I know you are going through the next chapter in my life. And one of the chapters that we're both going through is this new phase of dating. Da, 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 da.
Yes.
So, Melissa, I got sound effects and everything. I'm so excited for when I actually button and go boom. Everything. I'm so excited. But yes, we are both dating right now.
We
Um,
are.
how's that going for you?
Oh my goodness. It's been 14 years since I've dated, and things have been quite different this time around. I mean, we really didn't have any apps back then. So figuring out all these different ways of dating, and there's like new terms that I'm learning about too. Like, it has been quite interesting and trying to figure out, what I want as a person, what a relationship looks like. Do I want a relationship? So, yeah, how's it been looking for you?
Well, I've been now separated slash divorced for for 15 years now. And so those first few years was definitely interesting. The first 4 years of being single was the hot girl time for me. I was kind of a little reckless, but then I got back in a relationship again. And then I decided 3 years ago to become celibate for 2 years because I just wanted to give my body a break. I had been dating and fucking since 17 years old. And I just felt like, let me give myself a breather. I'm not in a relationship. Even if I do go on a couple of dates, I don't feel like having sex. So let me, relax. So for those 2 years, I was celibate. And then I started dating someone who had been pursuing me for fucking 17 years. And when I finally
Wow.
down to start dating him, I found out that he cheated on me. So this was like May. So now in July, I met someone new. So I'm dating someone new now, but we had a conversation about titles. And I wanted to talk to you about that today. I wanted to ask you, what did you think about titles? And he felt or he feels that once you put titles on a relationship, then it goes to the left. Like once you say, that's my girlfriend, that's my boyfriend, then these expectations that you begin to have now is the demise of the relationship. Have you
That's
heard?
interesting. I guess I wonder if that is like a gender thing too. I mean, Because I feel like, nature like has women where we kind of want to nest, right? Like the chemicals in our brain like start firing, like we want to be with that person that we've been intimate with, and like that is our person. While male people, tend to want to be able to kind of keep moving around, right? Because that's how nature supposedly made us. But yeah, I mean, it's been very interesting to have those types of conversations of like, what is this? Are we just seeing each other and seeing each other different than dating? And then it's like, how do you introduce each other like in public? That's weird too. It's like, yo, this is my friend.
And that was weird because a couple of weeks ago we were at a festival, a dance festival, and I introduced him to a close, well, not a close, but a somewhat close friend of mine over the years. I've known this woman for 28 years. We've been industry friends. We've been sisters in the struggle. So this someone who knows me before any husband, kids, anything. So I say to her, I go, hey, jokingly, I say, "This is my boo." So she goes, "Root, root, boo." Wait a minute. Just a minute ago, you was crying online about this motherfucker. What you talking about, boo? I was like, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. So he says, wait, though, wait a minute. Well, what constitutes someone being someone's boo? So my girlfriend says, well, everyone has their own definition, but I'm going to tell you my definition is your boo is when you're dating that person exclusively and you guys are on the same page that that's who you're with and no one else is in that you're dating anyone else. So he looks to me, he goes, so am I your boo? So I goes, I'm ready to make you my boo. And he goes, well, you're my boo. And he says, then I guess we booed up. So what does that mean?
And
And
what is the phase before booing up?
but the thing is, I got nervous to ask him to have the conversation again because that was playful. We were
Mm,
joking. So now I want to have the real conversation. Well, wait a minute. What does that mean? Am I your boo? Am I your woman? Am I your girlfriend? But I
mm-hmm,
want to scare him or make him feel like I'm trying to put some pressure on him that is one unwarranted and two too fast. You know what I mean?
mm.
So where do we how do we move there when we want to see what it means but we're too afraid to ask because we don't want to rock the boat.
Exactly. Yeah. And sometimes that feeling of sharing your feelings might trigger somebody else's reaction to retreat, right? Because we have these attachment patterns too, especially from when we've grown up in certain family dynamics. Like there's an anxious attachment where people are seeking out that approval or just attention. And then we have like the avoidant attachment where that person might just react and just kind of push away. So it's interesting to try to kind of figure out all that in this weird way of communicating and yet not scare each other off too. It's like an interesting dance at the same time as strategy, it almost seems like.
And I feel like that happens more. I feel like the dance, but it's one-sided, happens more because you kind of have this fear that the men don't want to kind of commit, but then
Mm-hmm.
is that fair to you who wants to commit? And then if it's not fair to you who wants to commit, isn't it good then to weed him out?
Mm-hmm.
Have the
Yeah.
conversation because if he's not ready for that, then how long do you entertain him without that title? And
Mm-hmm.
what's the point of it? Is the title the reassurance?
Mm.
Is the title reassurance?
Yeah, yeah. And I think I've recently had this conversation too. Is like, I don't want to continue dating more people, getting to know more people, having the same conversations over and over again. But yet the other person is like, I don't know if I want a relationship, but I still want to spend time with you. So, like, what does that mean? Is that now we're friends? Are we taking a step back? And I remember my mother used to say, you can't go back to holding hands. Which I still wonder, is that the case? Is that really the case? What do you think about that? Can you go back from being like intimate to just holding hands?
I don't know if you can go back because I tried. Like the funny thing is, oh my goodness, I did not mean to make this conversation about my new relationship. But we just started fucking, right? And we're only 3 months in. So we said, wow, we've actually started fucking too soon because we're supposed to start fucking after the 3 months. That's what they say, right?
That's the rule. Nobody sent me those rules.
90 days before you give up the coochie.
Oh my gosh, I need to get myself a porn subscription.
so, so we said, okay, we need to fix that by maybe stop having sex and just go out. And then he'll drop me off, and say goodnight.
Mm.
Ask me, have we been successful with that yet?
So it seems like it's a very hard process to go back to
It's
just
a
holding hands.
good.
Yeah.
And if the sex is better than him holding my hand,
Uh, Even more difficult. Yes.
because ironically enough, I'm actually to the place in my life that I don't even want to hold hands. So
Mm.
that's even, I know it was just an example, but when do you get to that place that you don't have to hold hands anymore, or you don't have to sit in the car and hold each other's hands because you want to feel secure in the relationship? Like all of those things, are they necessary? So I guess it goes back to the title. Do we need reassurance? And if we need reassurance, what other ways than the normal, quote unquote, layman ways of having or understanding or knowing that you're in a relationship? Because I think, again, I had a gentleman tell me, a friend of mine, he was like, if you're dating a man and he never tells you that you're his girlfriend, then assume he is dating other women.
Mm.
And that's okay if you're
Mm-hmm.
on the same page of dating multiple people. But what happens when one person thinks more of the relationship than the other person? Or one person is, giving up themselves sexually, and then this person is giving up themselves sexually plus. So
Yeah.
does the title, because having the title does might give you that reassurance, but people still cheat. There is
Mm-hmm.
a high rate of infidelity. So if you now have the title of wife, husband, boyfriend, and girlfriend, and you did that so you can feel secure, but people still cheat, then what?
And then what is cheating? Because as I was looking up definitions for this episode today, there's like what they call micro cheating. Like, what is that? And so, do you have that discussion with your partner too? Like, are you texting your ex all the time? Is that considered micro cheating? You
Okay.
know, what about emotional infidelity? So it's interesting because it seems like there needs to be this open communication with your partner, right? I think a lot of relationships are built on good communication. And I think that maybe that is one of the keys of when you feel like you're comfortable enough to be able to express how you feel without that judgment or having like negative repercussions. I think that that's probably a good sign, right? That you can have these conversations and ask, like, what does micro cheating look like? What does infidelity look like? You know, is it okay, for us not to hold hands, but still be intimate? So I think it comes back to a lot of communication, which a lot of us have not learned how to do very well.
That's the key. Because we say that, I feel like lately, especially in these last few years, like that's the hot topic, communication. Like what everyone says, what's lacking in your relationship? Oh, communication. But we all say that, but no one's giving us a clear definition of, okay, what that means, and even once what it looks like to communicate. So let's do a little role playing. You be the female and I be the dude, and let's
Okay.
communicate this title conversation. Okay, so we're dating. Hey, baby.
Oh, I like your deep voice.
It was good. Am I coming over for dinner?
Well, dinner is very difficult for me since I don't cook, but I do really want to spend time with you. So I'm wondering, how can we do this where we're both feeling comfortable about dinner?
Well, why don't I come over and cook dinner for us?
Okay, that sounds like a great plan. Are we thinking that we're gonna watch Netflix and chill after?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad that we've set those boundaries. So you won't be spending the night, and
What you
I'm.
mean? Well, let's.
Oh, so you were thinking that we should spend the night together?
Well, why not? Wouldn't you want to spend the night?
Well, of course, but I want to make sure that we're both feeling the same way about spending the night together.
Okay. Does
Because last time we stayed up really late, and I had a hard time the next morning
why?
because I was very tired from all the sex we were having.
All right, sidebar. Let's get to the serious topic here. All right, back to the scene. Or do you want to be the dude?
I'll be I'll be me. I'll be me. Okay, um so um Kitty, I feel like that we need to talk about where we are with our relationship before we get together next time. How do you feel about how things are progressing between us?
I think everything's fine. We chilling. Like it's all good. Like what you
Oh,
mean? I enjoy you. You enjoy me. What's wrong? I mean, I think everything is good. I'm fine.
I don't think anything wrong. I'm just somebody who really likes to communicate about, my feelings and make sure we're all on the same page. So there's like no miscommunication or hurt feelings. So I just want to make sure that we're both on the same page. So I like the way things are progressing too. I'm not interested in seeing other people. How are you feeling about that?
Hmm. 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 Well, I like you a lot, right? Um,
Yes.
and I just feel like, do we just take it day by day? Whatever happens, it just happens. I like spending time with you. You know, at the moment, I'm not interested in spending any time with anyone else. But I'm taking it day by day. I'm not putting any pressures on it. Why? What do you want me to do?
Well, I would like to be in a committed relationship where you're the only person that I'm being intimate with, but it seems like you're not at that place right now, which is cool. I think it's just important that we both know where we're standing.
Does that mean that I still can't get the coochie?
Oh, yeah, you can still get the coochie, but you need to make me dinner first.
And you know what? If it could be that smooth, because I think that guys think that if they that direct and honest, that we're gonna spaz out. You know what I'm
And
saying?
cry. Nobody wants to see us cry. Yeah.
They don't want us to be emotional. So they
Hmm.
feel that they're protecting us by not allowing us to be so dramatically crushed that they don't want to commit to us. And I think the reality is that if you don't commit to us, it's your loss, not mine. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But we're so afraid of, I don't know, being alone, being rejected. I don't know. What have you found in your travels and communication with women that they have? What's been that missing component, if you've seen any at all, that makes women kind of feel intimidated to speak up for themselves?
I think a lot of time it's the fear of like freaking the partner out. Like if I say how I feel, if I'm vulnerable, vulnerability opens you up. And then to be rejected, that just feels icky, right? Nobody wants to feel rejected. And
Right.
so I think that's what a lot of the people I talk to are feeling. It's like, we do want to know the truth. And it's okay if we have some feelings, we can process through it. We're adults. We can process through our feelings, go to bed, and be fine the next day. It's all about self care and knowing who you are. And I recently had that. Like, I had kind of like 2 down days after having almost a sex conversation with somebody I was dating and realizing, like, okay, maybe we take a step back. Um, that person doesn't want a commitment right now, but still wants to spend time. Okay, then that's it. But let me tell you, it doesn't mean I'm sitting around pining and waiting, because this is 100% gold and somebody's going to want to treat it like that.
Amen. Amen. Um, is there any, when we were thinking about this topic, was there any kind of closing thoughts that you kind of wanted our sisters to kind of, I mean, this conversation, this group, this series is open to both men and women, but
Mm-hmm.
we're women. We can't really speak to men, you know.
Yeah.
Invite them into the conversation. We can allow them to see our vulnerability and how we feel and how we're moving and how we're growing. But to get their feedback or to speak on their behalf would be a disservice.
Mm.
So, speaking as women, for women, was there any final thoughts or was there anything that you came to think that you wanted to share or express about how we deal with the conversation about titles, if it's important to have, and just your takeaway of the topic when we presented it, and then just briefly talking about it.
I think one thing is to remember that, like, every experience we have, we can learn something from it. Whether it's like a crappy date to like something that could have been more, it's still an experience that can be learned from about yourself, because we are humans that should always be evolving and learning about ourselves, especially as we grow older into this next chapter of our lives. Like, we're still learning about who we are. We didn't stop growing at 25. And I think that it's all about communication and just being more fluent and comfortable with having these conversations and being comfortable with having those feelings too. And just letting other people know, like, I'm having these feelings. I will be okay. I'm a grown ass adult. You don't need to worry about hurting me because you want to tell me the truth. Like, I will be okay. It will be used as a learning experience. This whole journey in our life is one big learning experience.
Do you receive truth well?
No, I cry. But I allow myself to cry, and then I work through it, and then I learn from it.
But bump.
Right?
I didn't say anything less than that or anything more than that. I totally agree with you 100%. And I think one of the things that's awesome about this union is that we can agree. But, however, folks out there, don't think that Melissa and I are going to agree on everything, because I don't think we are, which will be actually quite interesting television, because it will be beautiful to see the different perspectives that we have from the two different age groups. Even though we're close in age, we're still in two different groups though. And then to see, culturally, if there's any difference in what your mama taught you in regards to what my mama taught me, and how we
Mhm.
took those lessons or we discarded those lessons. So I think that the conversation.
And also, you are a mother. I'm not a parent.
So I think that those conversations that we're going to have, are going to be exciting and exhilarating, because we do come from different backgrounds. But what unites us is what's in between our legs. Is that is the one thing that is not different about us. It might be shade different, but it does the same shit.
Yep.
So, but that's huge, because that's our core. That's our
Hmm.
that's our balance, you know. That's what who makes us, that's what makes us roar, being a woman, you know. And I would not, I think if there's such a thing as reincarnation, that I was a man in past lives, because I'm a very aggressive woman, but
Mm.
still a woman. All
Mm-hmm.
God, I would not want to be anything other than a woman, you know? So, with that journey that you and I are on as women, I'm looking forward to more conversations with you, building this community of women that we can have a safe haven for people to feel comfortable in learning the tools that's necessary, like communication, like understanding, like removing shame, accepting shame, all of those things that we'll be discussing over the course of the next year, maybe. Who knows?
Who
Because
knows?
oh, this is going to be a weekly, a daily show. We are bound to get picked up by network television.
Who wouldn't? I mean, I think we're both freaking delights.
So, where can people find us, Melissa?
They can find us on Facebook, of course, where we have started our own Facebook group called The Next Chapter. And so I think like we post our juiciest stuff in there, honestly, because, you know, we don't need everybody knowing what's going on. It's only exclusive people that get access to like the juicy stuff. But I know you can find more information about me and what I'm doing at melissadesilva.com. And how about you?
And you can do the same thing at my website or my YouTube channel, which is the best place to find me, Miss Kitty Rose, the number one, all one word. And, you know, up until then, they can just, like you said, find us on the Facebook page. Is it raining?
Yes.
Okay. It's, wow, just out of nowhere.
I was surrounded by iguanas and now I'm in the rain.
Okay, on that note, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm so excited. I'm so happy to have met you. And I'm going to let you go before you get soaked out there in that beautiful, beautiful Puerto Rico.
Beautiful Puerto Rico, always changing, just
Figure
like all of us.
figure out a time, a tagline that we can say peace out or adios or something we have to figure out. So that's our next assignment.
Adios, mi amor. Mwah.
Adios, mi amor. Have a great day. Peace, sister.